Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Okay, this week on the podcast, we're going to talk about UFC Fight Night, which is Cody Garbrandt against Thomas Almeida fight card. We'll look over those bouts. We're also going to look ahead to UFC 199, which is Mr. Rockhold against Bisping 2. And speaking of 2, we've got 2 guests on this week, so stay tuned. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Okay, we're back for another week. Myself and Mike are here. Mike, how was your week? How was the fight game for you? Checking things out. What'd you find?
Yeah, very enjoyable. You had 2 guys outside the top 10 who pulled it off, didn't fail to entertain.
Which 2 guys are you talking about?
I'm talking about your Cody Garbrandt against Thomas Almeida.
Thomas Almeida's ranked in the top 10.
He's out of the top 10, isn't he?
No, he was ranked in the top 10.
Oh, was he? Oh,
yeah.
Well, he's not now.
He's so you had, but we like I said. Oh, sorry, before I forget the guests. With Jack Marshman, who's fighting. He's main eventing on the Cage Warriors card coming up this weekend in UFC Fight Pass. Also Dwayne Finley, who's the senior editor now of Flow Combat. Thought I'd get him on, talk about how the website's going, how everything's working there, what they're doing to try and make things a little bit different. And of course we digress into a conversation about MMA and the kind of things that are going down at the moment there, clickbait and stuff like this. So Mike, yeah, like we said, there was a hell of a card on. The Fight Night card that happened in the UFC. For us and for everyone at home, I hope everyone watched it. I did. I know you did, Mike. What fights in particular for you stood out? I'm going to quickly touch on one though, mate. Was this first fight of the night, which I think was a cracking fight for the heavyweight fight, because sometimes it's a hit and miss with the heavyweights. You're either going to get a stinker or you're going to get a hell of a performance. We got a good performance, I think, Mike, in Nelstead and De La Rocha.
Yeah, exactly. You got 2 guys there that were very game, very gutsy, and just no quitting them. They just wouldn't give in. And it's that's what you ask for a fighter in the heavyweight division. It doesn't seem to be as common, shall we say. It
was good fun. It was good fun fight. I think it started the fight.
Blood on the canvas from straight away.
Yeah, it did. It was a good fight. It was a good crack to watch. I enjoyed it. It was just a barn burner. I think though, let's talk about Aljamain Sterling and Brian Caraway. That fight was literally flipped on its head after the first round. Aljamain, pretty much it was all Aljamain in the first round. Brian Caraway looked like he was not going to be in it, and then it's flipped on its head. Brian Caraway got the last 2 rounds, got the decision win. The only thing I was happy about, Mike, was as much as I love Aljamain Sterling, the judges got the right decision. There was talks of maybe a possible 10-8 round in the first, because it was so much dominance from Aljamain, which I can see where people come from. But for me, mate, I don't know about you, I probably would have given it a 10-9. Even though there was a lot of submission attempts, I just don't feel like the submissions were like locked in and cinched in kind of thing.
No, it's... I think 10-9 because... I'm not going to say too much about it. It was the right result. The judges, although...
Spit it out, Mike.
I was going to say, was it unanimous or did one judge go the other way?
Split.
It was a split.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have been a split. It's I don't know what you have to do in some judges' eyes. I suppose it was. I suppose the only way is that it did come down to the 10-8 round.
Yeah, it could have been swaying the things, but for now, I think Brian Caraway puts himself in that kind of position of one fight away from a shot at a title. I think now he has to. Obviously, we've got some bantamweight bouts coming up at UFC 200. He probably has to wait for those. He'll have to wait for the loser of that, I think, really, of the TJ and Asun Sao fight, possibly. He'll have to wait for that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to have to go through the winner of that to get a title shot.
Not the winner, because I think the winner of the TJ and Asun Sao fight...
You misunderstood me. Sorry, I got my words muddled. What I meant was the winner then gets next go.
Yes.
And then the loser
Fights Caraway.
Fight Caraway.
Yeah.
To find out who's third in line.
Who's next in line? Yeah, exactly. I would probably go with that one.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully the matches then at the UFC 200 aren't squeaky tight, or there's something dodgy about them.
And you know what, Aljamain, this is good in a way. It's not all bad.
It's Aljamain.
I think he would have won. But I think it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad loss. It's not. He's young.
We spoke a little offline about it, and these sort of fights, they can build. They can give you confidence to know that you can go in there with somebody who's like on the brink of a title shot.
Well, I think Aljamain was himself.
Hard rounds.
Yeah, I think Aljamain's still learning the trade. He's still got a lot to grow and develop himself mentally as well as skill set wise.
Well, he's got a lot of stoppages, and okay, you can learn something from a stoppage win, but you can learn an awful lot from
15 minutes in the cage. Yeah,
against a quality opponent.
Yeah, it's almost like I could talk about every fight on this card. It's not a bad thing. Let's quickly just touch on a couple of other fights then. I want to say props to Eric Coach come back and absolutely looking stellar in his fight against Shane Campbell. Great performance. Yeah. Good to see him back after a break. 2 years out. The guy should be, getting that lightweight division, setting it on fire, and I think he will do.
Yeah. It's also Jake Collier.
Yeah, Jake Collier, that was an entertaining fight, and I tell you what, Jake Collier looked on point, and that was a good, solid win now. The kind of knee to the knee and body kick, and just a combination, just destroying the body. It shows that fighters, especially, I saw a lot in this card, fighters aiming for the calves, body shots. They're starting to incorporate a lot more now, taking away that initial kind of bloodthirst for the head strikes only. People are really starting to mix up that striking because it opens up the opportunities for other strikes.
Yeah, exactly. And it was fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I liked his after fight interview as well. Where he's, what was it? I'm here to bleed for you, or something like that. Or I forget how he worded it, but I remember sort of watching it and thinking to myself, yeah, you'll go down well.
Yeah, well, people will adhere to that. Let's move up the card then. Let's not talk about the women's fight because it was shocking. But Paul Felder against Josh Berkman. I have to admit, Felder looked like a different fighter in that fight. He looked a lot more patient. It looked like he was analysing the fight a lot more, taking his time, not rushing. He had very good kind of takedown, grappling defense on the cage. I thought it was a good performance from Felder. I was happy with the way he performed. He got the win against Josh Berkman, who is a absolute solid guy to fight against, who has been against some of the best in the world, beat some of the best in the world. I think it was a good win for Felder now.
Yeah, I think he's evolving as a fighter massively. I mean, I remember his first fight in the UFC where he came out and he looked like an absolute beast and tore through people, and you thought to yourself, like, who's going to be able to shut this guy down? Like, and he had a couple of losses, and those losses have done him the world of good.
Yeah.
Because he's now gone out there and learned patience and chipped away at the rough edges.
Yeah.
And he's made himself a more complete fighter.
Yeah, he has indeed. I agree. Let's go on. Let's talk Felder for him. It's a lightweight division. Don't even try to guess who's going to fight next because there's that many people in that weight class.
10 names you could say.
Yeah, exactly. But one guy in the welterweight division, Lorenz Larkin, beating Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal is a guy who I will always want to watch because he is completely down to fight and scrap. And in this fight, again, for me, Masvidal looks like he's too smart in the fight. He's so calculated in how he fights. I just feel like sometimes I wish he'd just go and push a little bit harder and push a little bit more, and he could probably do a lot more in that fight. But Lorenz Larkin is made for the welterweight division. His speed, his angles, the combinations that guy's throwing, he looks like he's home and where he should be. Who they match him up with next, I'm not quite sure, but there is some great matchups for Lorenz Larkin in the welterweight division.
Yeah, you just, I mean, I don't know just how good his jiu-jitsu defences. I hope that it's good, and I hope that he's going to be good at getting back to his feet, because he is kind of and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but he is kind of a one-trick pony. He's not going to be going in there looking for takedowns so that he can...
Well, like Lorenz Larkin, he's a very good wrestler. Lorenz Larkin has got a very good wrestling. He's actually... His takedown defense is solid.
Yeah, he wants to strike. And unfortunately, the welterweight division, there's a lot of guys in there that want to strike as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you got the likes of Damian Maia coming along, knocking on your door, you don't want to just have that...
you might not want to make that fight in a hurry.
No, you don't. So that fight won't happen. That's too soon. That's too soon for Lorenz Larkin. Damian Maia is skyrocketing up. Let's go to quick tip of me cap to an underdog on the card, which was Chris Camozzi. I tell you what, he went off and did some work with Ray Longo as well, Long Island with Matt Serra and all the guys there. It paid off. I think Chris Camozzi, he put on a really solid performance, Mike. I don't know about yourself, but I was really impressed with Camozzi's fight.
Yeah. I thought he really did. He was able to sort of semi-shut down the work of Miranda.
Miranda, yeah.
I mean, this is a guy who basically he accepted a first-round loss against...
the monster that is Jacare.
We get back in the UFC, and you know what? It paid off. It's paid off. He's back in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's winning fights, and he's getting on cards. And high up on the cards as well. So hats off to him.
Well, the thing with Camozzi,
and it's fun to watch as well.
Camozzi's always game for a fight. He's never gonna back down, and that's why he was the guy. He stepped up on 2 weeks' notice to fight Jacare. Like
no one else took that fight against the Stokers, so
no one in the UFC took that fight. He came back in because of it.
Look outside the UFC.
Yeah. Look, the one guy I feel he's the most disappointing prospect from Strikeforce to come to the UFC, Tarek Safadine. I don't know what's going on with that lad, but he just seems to me like the guy. He's not the same guy who was fighting in Strikeforce that he is now. I don't know what's going on with that lad. He's so hot and cold. He's got. We know what he can do, but he's just not doing it. I don't understand. Rick Story again. It's not exactly like he's fighting a new kid. Rick Story's been there, done it. Rick Story is a solid fighter to go against. Look, Gunnar Nelson found that out. So.
Look, he was at the wrong end of it.
Yeah, I don't have anything against Rick Story's fighter. I just feel like Tarek Safadine, I don't know what the crack is with him. Kudos to Story winning, but it's a tough one now.
I know what you mean. He's like a dodgy boiler. He's hot and cold.
He is.
When he's on point, he's very good. And you think to yourself, why isn't he fighting? The very, very top.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then,
it blows my mind. Mike, though, fight of the night. What a great scrap. Jeremy Stevens against Henry Barrow, Mike. That fight was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
The surprise fight on the weigh-ins, when they accidentally sort of...
well, yeah, because you didn't... No one knew.
I don't think he was really concentrating on what he was doing.
Because no one knew that Henry Barrow fell.
I don't think it was malice, but Jeremy Stevens, he's not going to really hang around to find out what your reasons are.
Not at all, no. But I love that fight, Mike. I don't know about you, but for me, Jeremy Stevens...
it was... And you know what? Even though Barrow lost, I kind of liked it because Barrow got to show his toughness and his guts, how he stayed in there. I mean, towards the end, he was getting a bit hammered.
Well...
And it looked like he might get stopped,
Yes. I think, though, there's a lot of factors to take... Mike, there's a lot of factors for me go into consideration in this fight. From Jeremy Stevens' perspective, he looks a different fighter than the fights that he's had previously in 145, because I feel like he's got his body weight down to the right size, because I felt like the cuts he was doing to get into 145 originally, he was probably cutting too much. That's why he looked a little bit gassed, not gassed, but it just looked like it took a toll on him. The cuts. It looked like his conditioning is on point now at 145.
And also, in his fight before this, he fought
Cub Swanson. Was it the Cub Swanson one, or was it Mac? No. It wasn't Cub Swanson.
Yeah, Max Holloway.
Was it Max Holloway fight? Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure it was Max Holloway. back in December. And
yeah, sorry, Max Holloway.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Max Holloway is.
He's the man. He's on fire.
He's a nightmare for possibly anyone.
Yeah, he's on fire.
And also, I think Jeremy Stephens, and like you were saying, I think he just needed to find his weight cut. You know, maybe he's getting down closer to the weight. You know,
I think he looked in great. I think he looked in great shape in the fight. He just looked a different guy.
He was able to fight hard right up until the end of the fight, which in some fights he's not been able to do that. So,
and he was landing great shots. Absolutely, those uppercuts were coming from hell. Those uppercuts were from hell.
Yeah.
Now, Renan Barão took those shots like a man, Mike, and that's another factor we've got to take into consideration. A factor is that Renan Barão, because he isn't making those drastic cuts like he was to 135, his body was more hydrated, i.e. his brain was hydrated.
Yeah,
it makes a difference.
To maybe take the shots.
Takes the shots more, and I think there were still flashes of great work from Renan Barão there. I just feel that there's still more out of Renan Barão in the 145 division, and I think there's some great fights still to make in that division for him.
And this is his first fight at 145.
Yeah.
He's fighting a guy that, who's a big 145.
Yeah, he's at 155 coming down, 135 going up. That was the one. That was a huge thing for me. I thought that would play a part of it. You've got to think about as well for Renan Barão. It's weird, Mike. Like we said before, he was unbeaten. He was absolute king of the world. He's now lost 3 in a row. And you think, wow, that's crazy. But guess what? His next fight is going to be against one of the top guys still in the featherweight division. I think, personally, Mike, you might see him fight Ricardo Lamas, Mike. I think you might see Ricardo Lamas and Renan Barão next. I just get that feeling.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's but you know what? Renan Barão, the one sort of pound for pound, could easily be 0-4.
Yeah.
That is just crazy.
Bonkers. It's crazy to think it.
He had a massive fall from grace. It's just that TJ proved to be pretty special.
Yes.
And he's going up in weight, so he's kind of like when you're a guy that's been like in the top 10 pound per pound, you can't go up in weight and pick number 20.
No. But the thing is, he's not going to get easy fights, though. That's the problem. Because of who he is and where he's been, he's not going to get any easy fights now. He's going to go straight up and fight the best guys in the next weight class. So, similar to like Conor McGregor going up to when he actually fights 155, if he does, he'll end up fighting the top guys in 155. It's just what's going to happen. If Luke Rockhold decides to go to 205, they're not going to give him a guy who's ranked 15. He's going to fight top guys. Yeah. But look, let's move on to the main event, which was short and sweet. And it was epic boxing from the man, Cody Garbrandt. He said it himself prior to the fight. He said, Thomas takes a little bit of time to get into the fight, get going. I'm going to apply my game plan ASAP, literally run in his face, land and get out there before he gets going. He did exactly what he said on the tin. But that fight, that performance was one of them fights where it just made you stand up and go, not only did I think Cody was a good fighter anyway, I think a lot of people knew Cody was a very good fighter. He needed that fight and that win to really cement himself in that division because, like I said before, his fights prior, he was never fighting one of the top guys, and this fight was what he needed. He needed Thomas Almeida to help him get that recognition just from all the heads that be.
Yeah, you've got two young killers there. Without a loss between them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, okay, I wasn't totally surprised. I mean, I think Brad Pickett basically, he drew the blueprint of how to beat him.
Yeah. You need a younger Brad Pickett to finish it.
That's able to sort of pull that off. And with Cody, you've got somebody there with good boxing who can land shots and hit with at least enough power. That's what you needed. You've got somebody there who's got plenty of power. So I wasn't totally shocked. He probably did it a bit easier than I thought. But then again, Brad Pickett was on the brink of doing that himself,
Yeah, he had Thomas on Queer Street.
Oh, yeah.
I think anyone who gets hit by Brad Pickett goes on Queer Street.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Brad hits hard.
Yeah.
But what was the thing that I thought was going to go against him, which was going against him, although it didn't end up being a factor anyway, is, again, he marks up around the eye so easily.
Yeah, But then again, is that a factor of how hard some people hit?
The first couple of shots that landed, I noticed that his eyes were going. After the first couple of shots that Cody landed on him, Almeida's eyes were all puffed up and he was becoming a panda before we knew it.
Yeah, I don't think that affected him, though, in the fight for the first round. I don't think that affected his sight or anything.
What I mean is, over a 5-round fight, your eyes are going to let you down.
Yeah.
That's why I thought within 3 rounds, if his chin doesn't give way, then his eyes could. You know?
I think from a technical standpoint, if you're Cody Garbrandt, his boxing, the reason why his boxing worked so well with Thomas Almeida was Thomas Almeida had his hands high, but the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Almeida wasn't moving his head. Like, he had his hands up, but he wasn't slipping the punches with the head movement.
No.
He wasn't using head movement prior to any shots coming, so Cody could always get the... Cody only had to fire straight shots, and he knew they would land because he knew Thomas's head wasn't moving. And the thing is, you can't put your hands up like a number 11 straight up because the gloves are so small, they fit through the gaps.
Boxing. All you're doing is making the target smaller. You're not removing the target.
Yeah,
it's not like boxing where... Or like big sparring gloves where you can hide behind there.
You can hide behind them. It's hard to get them through. You can't do the 11. You have to incorporate head movement. It's very important. And for Cody, on a boxing perspective, it was very easy for him just to get those straight shots, straight down the pipe. And they were pretty much just tagging and landing. And that was the problem with Thomas. He wasn't backing off to keep the shots out of range. He wasn't taking any angles when the shots were coming. It was something from Thomas Almeida's perspective that he needs to look at. For Cody, it was great for him because it was like, I can land these all day long. And that's, from a technical side of things, those are something to look at. What happens next? We don't know. Cody said Caraway. Caraway said no because Caraway, I can understand why Caraway wants to get one more fight to get the title. And I think Cody's probably probably 3 fights away, depending on how his performances go.
Yeah, and with who else is ahead of him in the queue,
I think if Cody had 2 fights and he starts with 2 guys in the first round, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough, stick him in, doesn't matter, because he's on such a hot streak, you can get away with it. But I think for him, for a fighter to mature, I think maybe 3 fights would be ideal. He's still young, there's still plenty of time. Mike, let's quickly mention, like I said, Cage Warriors is back this weekend in Wales. You've got Jack Marshman fighting, you've got Lewis Long and Jack Shaw, 3 Welsh guys performing, fighting. It's going to be awesome to see Cage Warriors back as always. It's going to be interesting to see how they go because Jack and Manson signed with the UFC. So for Jack Marshman, it's that middleweight belt is up for grabs now. There's a vacant belt, so Jack gets the performance. Who knows what the next fight could be for him? I don't know who either. I'm sure Ian Dean will work his wizard magic spells and find someone.
It's another good move from Cage Warriors. They putting a fight on in Wales where the Welsh always come out for their fights. Always, there is a fighting background in Wales, and
there's a couple of good fighters coming out of Wales as well.
And having the Welsh on the card as well definitely helps. And they're not just Welsh fighters; they're guys that can really fight. And you could easily see any of them being the first Welsh guy to be in the UFC.
Yeah, there's 3 names, there's 3 guys that are pushing to get into there. Which one's going to be in first? I have no idea. But let's look at UFC 199 now, Mike. Let's jump onto this card, quickly go over some of the fights that are sticking out. Not all the fights are sticking out, but there's a handful that are. The UFC Fight Pass prelim kind of main event is Sean Strickland against Tom Breeze. That is bound to be an entertaining scrap, bound to be an entertaining fight for people who are watching, who've got it. Suggest you watch this fight. It's 2 guys who just are talented young prospects in the welterweight division.
Well, also, Tom Breeze in his last fight didn't look fantastic. Had to work really hard for the win.
Well, he fought a vet. That was the thing. He fought a guy who had a lot more experience in himself, and I think it was not that he had to work hard. He had to really find himself in that fight, and I think he did. And I think that's a great thing for Tom to go. Do you know what? I fought a vet and I won. Mentally, I feel great. I've got a lot more confidence. I've got a lot more ring time, and that's exactly what he needed. And I think going into this fight with Sean Strickland, he'd be buzzing.
Time in the cage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, training's good, but sometimes you need fight time.
Yeah.
You know, you actually need cage time, and to plaster all your opponents isn't getting you that.
No.
So, you know, it might have been a blessing in disguise for him to have a fight like that. You know.
Mike, how about flyweight division? Jessica Penn against strawweight. Jessica Penne against Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, well,
Jessica dropping down. I can't wait to see it at that weight class because remember, Mike, Jessica hit hard at 135. That girl, even though she was too small, she does hit hard. She can bang. I can't wait to see her in this division.
I'll give you an idea, folks. She is tiny. Like if I could look eye to eye to someone, they're small.
Yeah.
And I look down on her. She is possibly, I would say, the smallest fighter in the UFC that I've come up against.
Yeah, she's.
When I say come up against, I mean like we're just standing side by side.
Yes,
like I was putting gloves on.
She is short, very short.
I haven't lost all my marbles, but and as John just said, like, you know, she hit hard at the weight that she clearly shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
You know, she probably weighed in her denims, like, you know, it's
So I can't wait to see how she performs. It's an interesting one. It's up against Jessica Penne. I'm looking forward to Jessica Penne fight. I just want to see how Jessica Andrade fights, how she is at 115, how she looks, how she moves, does the power transfer down? You know, that's a big question because if it does, then all those girls in that weight class will have a serious
it's not
problem.
automatic, you know. So there's a few questions, like, you know, which I'm looking forward to. But you got two girls there. They're both game, so you know it's definitely one to watch.
Oh yeah. Any other fights, Mike, that you see on the card working your way up?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the Cole Miller. I can't say his last name properly.
Why are you looking forward to that?
I'm actually looking forward to. I think that'll be fun. You know,
I disagree. In my opinion is I think Cole's too experienced, probably too much of a better fighter for this one. I fair enough. You know, I think I can see Cole win this. I think for me, Alex he's so hot and cold as well in his performances, the way he fights. I can't get behind the way he goes. I'm just not. I think Cole Miller, jits wise, if it goes to the ground, you know, Alex might as well kiss the fight goodbye because Cole Miller is an absolute unbelievable guy on the ground.
He's that's what I meant.
And Cole can bang.
Yeah.
And Alex isn't the guy who's going to be knocking you out with one strike. He's not like a John Lineker in the weight class or an Anthony Rumble Johnson. So I think I'll definitely go with Miller on that fight. Any other fights further up the card though?
Well, we got Beneil Dariush fighting James Vick.
Yeah.
I mean, Dariush, he seems to be a little, I don't know, like his last couple of fights have been.
Well, he's coming on short note. Not short note. Sorry, he got matched up straight away after his loss to Michael Chiesa. He wasn't happy with the way it went down. What happened? His performance. He wasn't happy in general. He asked to get a fight book straight away. So they gave him an absolute monster in James Vick, who I feel is still going under that radar because it's a 155 division. It's really hard to get noticed. A guy who's going under the radar, but he is winning and winning well. I think that Beneil's got a hell of a fight, but again, Beneil's got that skill set on the ground. He's also trained at King's MMA, so his striking's always evolving. Will we see an aggressive, kind of, not a pissed off Beneil, but will we see that Beneil wanting to get that, go in and put that performance in to kind of erase the last bout? I don't know, because James Vick is a guy who's game, and I look forward to this fight. It is a cracking matchup, Mike. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's. I think we'll actually get to see where his mindset's at in this fight.
Yeah.
It'll answer a good few questions.
A fight that I'm not actually pumped about, and I'm not that jacked about. In fact, I'm a bit about. There's two fights on the card that I feel like that, but one of them, it's Dan Henderson and Hector Lombard. I'm not too sure how. I'm not. I can't get up for it. I just can't.
Yeah, I think it's because with Dan Henderson, you've got a guy that I don't think anyone dislikes him.
He's the man's man. If I could be a man, I'd be him. Like there's only a few.
He's like the uncle you never had. You know what I mean? It's
he's an idol kind of thing. He's just one of them guys you'll just forever love.
You kind of want to, you basically want to dip him in gold and put him in a museum somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and so no one can harm him at all.
Pretty much.
Because he's not as rock solid as he was. Obviously, you know. I mean, okay, yeah, there's guys that have had more fights. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's had loads of fights. But what I'm saying is he lived in the pride.
Well, you got to think, Mike. He's only had 2 wins in his last 8 fights since 2015.
And he's now getting stopped by guys. You think to yourself, you know,
he's getting stopped by a lot of guys.
It's
it's one of them ones where the problem with Dan Henderson is it's his overhand right, and that's what's going to win him the fight. But the thing is, the sport, the game, the MMA world, it's evolved so quick. People have calculated what they can do.
I was about to say that. You can't really be... I mean, he is your typical wrestler with a big punch.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And he's older. He's a little bit slower than he would be 5 years ago.
And he used to have a chin that would take him through...
Yeah.
Oh, like, you know, devastation.
And you got to think, look at the Vitor Belfort fights, Mike. The Vitor Belfort fights, Vitor did the same thing both times to win the fight. And that showed that Dan Henderson didn't take into account what Vitor did last time and go, right, how do we stop him maybe doing that again? It looked like, you know, Dan Henderson was like, right, okay, I'm just going to do what I do, and that's it. And it's a problem with Hector. I think speed will kill.
Yeah, he was basically, he was just born a little too early.
Yeah, but do you know what? He wasn't because he went into Prime. He was a great guy.
The whole career we had in Prime was fantastic, you know. So I wouldn't get rid of those years. But
no.
Basically, if it was anyone else, they'd be retired and.
Yeah, I'm not too bummed about the fight. I just can't get up for it, Mike. But a fight I can get up for, and the reason being is it's Max Holloway and Ricardo Lamas, and the reason why I get up for that is I can't wait to see what performance I'm going to see from Max Holloway. The way that guy's been going, he seems to just step it up every time. Will this be the performance that you see from Max Holloway where he absolutely shines and basically then sits there and goes, right, okay, I want the winner of Aldo and Frankie. You know, will we see that? Will we get that? You know, because we have no idea what's going on with Conor, if he's even interested in 145. No one knows, but at the same time, I can't wait to see what Max does in this fight.
Yeah, and exactly, he can't come in and have a bad night because Ricardo Ramos is the sort of guy, you can't have a bad night against him.
No.
You know, he will, you know, he is good enough to, you know, mix with the best. It's just, yeah, you know, I think Max wins that fight, but like I said, you know, if he comes in on an injury or a bad night, then Ricardo, you know, can easily take it.
Max's length and his kind of the way his striking has evolved, I just find it tough for Ricardo to handle it. Okay, again, Mike, this is my second fight. I just can't get that pumped for. Is Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber? I am pumped.
I can. I'm buzzing.
I'll tell you why I'm not pumped. Okay. Well, I'm excited. I'm happy because Dominic Cruz is getting 2 fights in a row in a sense. You know, and they're not light years apart. You know, I'm happy that Cruz is staying fit, staying able to compete.
He gets to chip away at the rust. Not that he was ever there.
I think I'm not that pumped about the fight because I just don't see Uriah Faber even getting close in this fight. I just don't see it. He's got 2 tools, and like everyone said, he's got that overhand right and the guillotine. Other than that, I can't see Uriah Faber getting anything out of this fight. You know, I just see Dominic Cruz basically getting picked apart. Like, Dominic Cruz is going to pick Uriah apart. It's not even going to be close.
Okay, right. So the first fight with Uriah Faber, Uriah Faber goes in there and just chokes him out. Like, the second fight, although Uriah Faber loses, he drops Dominic Cruz, was it 2 or 3 times, was it?
He dropped him in the first round, but the thing is, I don't see that fight. That was there.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it'd been, I'd much preferred to have seen this fight when he was originally scheduled before
Dominic injured himself. I agree, and that's what I mean. This to me is the Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao kind of situation where I wish it had happened when Floyd was when Pacquiao was his prime, because you probably would have had a 1 on your record, Floyd, but you were very tactical and not getting that fight. And I think obviously this is different circumstance, but what I mean is I think Uriah's gone over that, like that kind of
Yeah,
tilt.
I
Like
mean,
he's not. I just can't. I don't know why people. There's not many people who think Uriah's going to win, but it's just all Cruz. Cruz is just another level of IQ. His breakdown, the way he analyzes. He's so. I just can't see. I think the only guy who's going to get close to Dominic Cruz is TJ Dillashaw, and like because Uriah Faber does not have the skill set and the striking that TJ does. Yeah, TJ has a different.
At the same time, you know, it's. I think I honestly believe that Uriah is going in there with a bucket load of confidence. You know, knowing that he has, you know, he is the only person to have a win over him. You know, and he did have success in the rematch. I think there'll be some belief, and also with Dominic is okay. Yeah, he is. He's not going in there and basically trying to take your head off. You know,
No, that's why I said he'll pick him apart. He'll just pick him apart.
Your head off, like, you know, he might hit you just about 100 times more than anyone else.
Yeah.
But and I think that also that missing every time. You know when you throw a punch and you just miss every time.
It's hard.
That can really sort of.
It's exhausting when you miss.
Tiring and also mentally tiring as well. You know,
it's physically.
You know, you can think that what have I got to do just to hit him? You know,
missing something is absolutely exhausting, Mike. And Faber's fit. Faber's in good shape, but I just think Cruz. It will just the angles, the movement. It will just infuriate Uriah Faber, and I just can't see him catching him.
I think there's a chance for Uriah. Put it this way, I think Uriah has more chance in this fight than the main fight. You know.
Yeah, no, it's a different fight. It's different. That's a whole different kettle of fish, though. That's a whole different animal in itself.
Yeah, you know, if Uriah comes away with the title, I wouldn't be as shocked as maybe you are.
I think everyone else would be as shocked as I am.
Not totally.
Yeah, everyone else but you would be as shocked as I am because there's a lot of people who just don't see anyone else but Cruz. The reason why they're doing this is the trilogy. Look, Uriah Faber 0-3. Uriah Faber is 0-3 in UFC title fights. He's probably going to go 0-4. He's always going to be the bridesmaid, never the bride. Because at that time, it's always been someone else. I just can't see past Cruz. I'm maybe setting myself up here, but I just can't see past it. I truly can't.
You set yourself up? Surely not, John.
Nah, I don't mind. Cause I look, it's the way.
I just see like he has got some success in the two fights that they've had previous. Uriah has had success in both fights.
I just can't take a lot from it because it's such a long time ago. That's the problem. It's too far gone to sit there and go, oh, what happened there made a huge difference. Like the fact that they fought, Mike, it's over 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like the last one was 5 years ago. If you think that something matters from 5 years ago, that's the last fight. You're insane because they're not this. Like Dominic Cruz is not the same guy 5 years ago. It's not.
No, but it's. I mean, I think the lack of cage time does matter. I don't think it. However much he says it doesn't matter, it's wrong.
I don't think it does because if you look at the performance against TJ Dillashaw, he looked absolutely outstanding, and he did 5 rounds and smashed it. And even with a wrecked foot, he smashed 5 rounds. I don't think for him it matters too much. I think his conditioning is on point anyway. So I don't think so. I don't think that matters at all.
Well, let's just wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
I think that Dominic wins, but I think it's much closer than most people are saying. And I'm not totally surprised if Uriah does win.
Right, you need someone like Mike to say that because you need someone to give a shout for the underdog, and that's what you need. Let's go to main event. Mike, if you think Michael Bisping's got a chance, I swear, just give up now because you need mental help. If Luke Rockhold is going to, we are from the UK. Like Mike, we're from the UK. We've had Michael Bisping on here before, but at the same time, if you think he's going to win, I'd be astounded.
Yeah, I think Bisping's going to use his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu, and I think he's going to go in there and win.
Yeah.
I'm just happy he's got the fight. I'm happy. A guy that's been in the UFC's top 10 for pretty much 10 years, deserves, and hasn't had a title fight. I mean, okay, yeah, it's clear to see why he hasn't, because he's always come unstuck on the brink of a title shot.
Yeah.
But, I'm just happy. Do I think he's going to win? No, I don't. Will I be surprised if he wins? Yes, I will be.
Yeah, I think the world will be. The odds.
But I'm happy.
Oh, the bookies' odds are insane. Like I was going to put like a little bet on, but there's no point. Like there's no point. You're not going to make nothing out of it. With Luke Rockhold, after the first fight between the two of them, Rockhold didn't even get out of first gear, and he looked like he was cruising the fight. And Bisping, I just can't see what he can do. I can't see what he can do to change the result.
Yeah, I mean, you know what Bisping's going to do. He's going to go in there. He's going to throw punches.
He said he's going to close the distance, and that's what he does need to do. Because if he stands outside, Luke Rockhold can pick him apart. He's got Rockhold's longer. He can pick him apart. The problem is, you getting close. Well, you don't want to get in close to Rockhold because he'll just take you down. And his grappling, like Bisping is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but Rockhold's a better grappler. Like his transitioning between striking and grappling and jiu-jitsu is a lot smoother.
Out your success. Yeah.
Like,
and also, I've always said that Bisping's biggest weapon was his work rate, and his last few fights he hasn't had that same work rate.
Yeah.
That tempo, where he's just like, it just goes into that fourth gear or fifth gear and just stays there and stays
like
there.
I said, Mike,
fourth round he's still there.
I don't think he won against Talis Leitis. I'm still going to stick to it now.
No, exactly. I think that endurance that he's got isn't. I mean, he's got good endurance still, but he hasn't got the same that he had a few years back.
But even still, 2 weeks' notice doesn't help. 2 weeks' notice.
No, exactly.
I know he's got to big himself up. I know he's got to support himself. But for Luke Rockhold, this is an ideal matchup. Someone coming in 2 weeks before they've already beat Bisping. He got his title shot by default. At least he got it, because to be fair, he was quite away from getting the title shot. You had Jacare and Romero in line before Bisping was going to get a stab at it, even though you had Rockhold and Weidman was meant to be the original fight. Then it was going to be Jacare or Romero first, then between them two, and then it would have been Bisping. So you're looking at the latter part of 2017 before Bisping could have got a shot. But the problem is, Bisping wasn't going to sit and wait around that long. He would have had a fight between then, and he could have lost in between then. So it's Bisping. He should be lucky. He should be counted lucky stars that he got that the circumstances happened the way it did. That at least he got that crack, like you say, Mike. Because to be fair, he just was never going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, has anyone ever thought, actually thought throughout his career and thought, what, I think Bisping will be world champion? No, I don't think at any time have I ever thought that he would actually be champion.
No.
But, you know what, he deserves to at least get to fight for the chance.
Well, he'll get a payday out of it. You get a payday out of it, so why you can't complain about it?
And it's better than some, and, good for him, so...
Yeah. And that's the UFC 199 card happening. So, look, this Saturday, if you got UFC Fight Pass, you'll get Cage Warriors card, switch over to the Fight Pass prelims. I'm not saying that you should illegally stream the rest of the card if you don't have the correct channels to watch it.
By any means you seem fit.
But watch it, yes, by any means you see fit, ladies and gentlemen. And look, enjoy the fights. We're going to enjoy the fights. We'll be back next week to talk more fights, results, fights coming up. Any gossip that we thought we should bring up, we'll throw that in there as well, folks.